Hi guys, Olga's here with you. Hope you can hear me well. We're gonna we're waiting for SoFeya right now to join us, and then I'll start live on Facebook. We have a really interesting speaker today. I'll introduce myself for the people who don't know me as soon as SoFeya will join us, and then I'll turn on live on Facebook. Okay, see. Here we go. Here she is. Okay. Sweet. Okay, hi. Okay, hold on. I don't hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me now.
I can hear you now. Hi, SoFeya.
Hi, Ola. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, got it. I have it. Okay.
Let's see. It's connecting. Okay. Go live. Preparing to stream.
You're ready? We're already on Facebook?
Well, right now I'm joining it. Yeah, I'm joining.
Yeah, I'm having, it says we're live on Facebook now.
Yep, there you go. I think we are on right now. So hi guys, whoever like joining us right now, this video will be recorded so you could, if you missed something, you could rewatch it. My name is Olga, and if somebody don't know me, I'm a Vedic specialist. I do Jyotish and astrology, Vedic astrology consultation, Vastu consultations, and also, I teach yoga and overall Vedic consultant. And today we have with us, I'm very excited, SoFeya. SoFeya, would you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ola, for having me. Well, I'm SoFeya, SahRa Joseph, and I'm an author and creator of I Merchant Life. And just a student and teacher, I guess, on this path, transversing the, the journey of finding out who we are and why we're here.
That's great. And SoFeya being very modest because she used to be Olympic ice skating coach as well, right?
Yeah.
I believe it's more like a mental work rather than like, know how to ice skate great, right?
Well, this was really the beginning for everything because I coached skating and I coached the elite level of skating, and like you have competitive athletes in your family, and you know what it means to be a competitive athlete and what gets in the way when you are competing at a high level, especially. I mean, it's always getting in the way, the mind, right? The mind is the thing. Of course, when we first began with the sport, it seems to be more about how the body is performing. Like you have to learn the techniques, you have to learn how the movement, etc. And then you reach a certain level where your body mastered the movement. And then you go to the competition and you're supposed to perform just as good as you perform in practice, right? But then something happens and oops, you're not performing up to the level you want to perform. And so that was really the reason why I started going into psychology first, and I was getting my master's degree in sports psychology because actually my lead student lost the gold medal at the Olympics in 2006, and that was the whole transformation journey that kind of started as a result of that. And
Well, but she got silver, right?
say it again.
But she got silver, right? It's not like,
Well, she got silver, but she didn't win the silver. She lost the gold.
yeah, well, it's okay. She won silver.
Yeah, yes, I know. For many people, it's like, it's like, how many of you can brag about having a silver at the Olympics?
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Great achievement.
So not very many people can brag about silver medal at the Olympics. But my student didn't win the silver. She lost the gold.
Yeah.
So that was a big difference because it's not like she went out and she skated perfect and she got silver. She went out and she fell twice, and that's why she got silver. So there is a difference between that. But in the end, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because that's what kind of pushed us, me and her mom, everyone, to go on the search of better ways. And I had a whole army of students growing up, and I didn't want them to have that experience. So I wanted them to have a better experience. So that's why I went back to school to get a master's in sports psychology at that time. But sports psychology didn't quite take me where I wanted to go. And that's when the shift happened going into spiritual direction.
That's great. You say like sometimes you think you're losing, but it just makes you stronger. It makes you like to think like, is there something more than that? You know, what I can do about it? Because like if everything would be that easy, then we would be like not growing in spiritual way or not working on your conscience, you know, growing there, you know, and we'll be just vegetables basically, right?
Well, there is always more, but at the same time, we have to. I mean, sports is kind of thing that pushes you to the limit. And there is more and more and more. And the higher level you go, um, the less you have left of going towards how to say that. I mean, when you're just starting out, the ceiling is really far away, and so there's a lot of growth.
Mhm.
But then you reach the level where the ceiling is like right there, really close. And how do you break through that ceiling? And at this point, now that your head is touching the ceiling, the other people catching up also, and you can't get away from them because they're also catching up. So that's where you kind of like get stuck in, is there more, how can I go to this other level? And for me, this actually happened on one day that I took a yoga class for the first time.
Mhm.
And in that class we did some breathing exercises. And the next day, I'm a coach. So the next day I come to the rink and I teach my students the breathing exercises that I just learned in this yoga class. And my students, they take instruction and they go out and they begin skating with this breathing exercise that I just gave them. And all of a sudden, they transform. And they don't skate like they used to skate. All of a sudden, they begin looking like angels that you saw, like if you've been to Vatican and you've seen Sixtine Chapel, the painting by Michelangelo, when they're reaching, touching hands.
Yeah.
Okay, these are my skaters.
Mhm.
That's what they look. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen this before. Where have I seen this? I mean, like feeling goosebumps. And I see them as these angels. And in this moment, I realized that the only way Michelangelo could paint them that way is because he had seen them too. And in that moment, it was like a switch that I've decided I'm gonna dedicate my life to figuring this out and to teach this to others. And after they skated like that for a day, I mean, the whole ring, everyone, the parents, the kids, like no one understood what happened. They could all see it, but they couldn't understand what just happened.
Mhm.
They were like,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh. And then I was like,
Just
how do I
breathing.
put them in that state
Mhm.
again? Because once they started thinking, they were no longer there. So those of you who like know how to get into that state, into that zone, and you experience that oneness with everything, and then you want to be in that state again, right?
Right.
But you can't go there just at will. Well, you can, but you have to learn how. So at this point, I'm like, I have to know how to do this. And that was
Did you come
true.
up with some technique after that, or you
Well,
create a method how to figure out how to reach that state of mind? Or...
I did, but not right away. That method it took 12 years to come to that point. Well, I'm not really. I'm going, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long it took. It took time. And the method presented itself in a really unbelievable way. And
So do you help people right now to with your method to like make their life better, or what do you do like right now?
well, the method makes your life better, absolutely 100%, because you're working on improving the quality of your life. But
And your
it's
concept?
yes, but you're not directly working on your life. You're working on it indirectly because you're working on your own self. So it's the method of assuming a different identity, actually. So you're stepping into identity of the divine being.
Mhm.
And so that means you have to let go of your egocentric being and step into the spirit self. And the method is in understanding that, in understanding who we are as a spirit, and who we are as a spirit is the combination of qualities of spiritual nature. And so we take on these qualities. So the method is really simple, actually, is you just drink water. Now I'm here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sat down here with you without my water. How could
I was
that be?
thinking about it that you're gonna have water right next to you. I got my
No,
cup of
no, it's right here next to me, but it's one sec.
So as I see also like a lots of people, they have their own way how to grow your conscience. So I can see like for me, like I can do it through my Vedic knowledge and through all this like pranayama, the breathing. It's part of the puzzle. Ayurveda, yoga, astrology, Jyotish, like you know yourself from like which energies kind of influence on you, what to do, like all of that, like the pieces of the puzzle, which helps me to grow spiritually or in my conscience, you name it. Some people, they go through church, right? Through reading Bible and all that. And that's why I thought, like, when I met you, I'm like, oh my God, that you're such an interesting person, you know, that you have your own way and you found it within yourself. I'm pretty sure lots of people, they also can find it, but they're just scared to go there, and they're like, they maybe clicks them sometimes, you know, it clicked them, but then they don't go, you know, along this way, along that path, and they just okay, like never mind. But you're like actually you didn't give up, and you said it took you sometimes, well, some time, because a baby cannot grow within like 20 days, right? It needs like 9-10 months to grow in the womb. So that's why it's also like, it cannot be like just, it came one day and that's it, and you're like holy person, right?
Well, you cannot just be a different person. It takes time and years and lifetimes of development. So every single one of us is on a journey of growing into our highest potential. And like you said, like you've dedicated your life studying Veda and finding your path. And imagined life is its own unique teaching, actually, that I have received. And it doesn't require any of this esoteric knowledge, none. It does not require you to understand complex mantras and sound techniques and how the stars move, or knowing all these different complicated names from Kabbalah. I mean, there are so many techniques, and a lot of them, not a lot of them, all of them are actually very complicated. And one of the reasons they're very complicated is because they were hidden. They were made very difficult for a common person to learn and grasp, because it's easier to manipulate and control people that don't have the knowledge versus people that do.
Right.
And imagined life is here to disrupt everything. Imagined life is here to give everyone the ability to reach the highest level of consciousness in the most natural, simple way. Because the truth is, God, the source, is extremely, extremely simple. It is so simple that it's mind-blowing. It's so simple and so beautiful and
How do
so
you
perfect.
explain then what it is, God or the source? How would you explain it? If it's so simple, then it could be a simple explanation, right?
No, well, explanation of the source isn't that simple. I mean, you can say it's the energy, it's the creator energy, whatever. It's hard to put that in words, so I'm not going to go there. I can't explain exactly what that is. I mean, just try that. As simple as it is, can you explain who you are?
Energy,
If you
yeah.
can't explain who you are, well, yes, but energy, it's kind of like a very abstract, vague word. So it doesn't really, you can't really touch it
Right.
in a
Well,
sense.
because with our brain, we always think like we have to touch or taste something in order to know what it is. But basically, like energy, like which all around us, that's what Vastu, teaches us, to work with energy around your house. You cannot touch it, you cannot feel it. So lots of people, they don't realize how this energy influences on you, because you are made out of this energy also. And the water, as you're working with the water, right? It's part of us, right? It's influences on us, and it depends what is inside this water. That's how you kind of put it in your like body, but you working with your conscience by doing that, right?
Well, the principle of water, why it came in, it actually has several reasons for it. And number one, you can't live without water. That's as simple as that.
How come
So,
you can live without food but not without water? I know like stories about like Indian, gurus who just drink water, they don't eat, and they perfectly fine.
well, even if you don't drink water, your body has to absorb water from the air. So you can't live without water because our body is made up to 80% water.
You can.
So 60 to 80% water 60 to 80%, our body is made of water. Our brain is about 90% water, something like that. I can't like come up with exact numbers right now. So water is life, just like air is life. So it's just as simple as that. So the question here is, can you live without yoga? Yes. Can you live without meditation? 100%. Can you live without water? Absolutely not. That's the truth of it. Simple. So this is why.
Just water, or it's could be any liquid or just water? Because I know some people, they don't even drink water. They drink like juice, I don't know, soda, tea, you know.
Yes, but that juice is water with something added to it. So I mean, in how do you say this? There is beautiful teachings, right? In the Bible, for example, that Jesus turned water into wine. Okay, so most people are familiar with this story, but it really is a metaphor. That Jesus turned water into wine. What is wine? But water with thoughts, actually. So you infuse water with thoughts, and it becomes wine. Because water with spirit is wine. I mean, this is why we call what is alcohol, right? Wine.
Yeah.
We call it spirits. So water with spirit is wine.
Yeah, because I would be surprised if Jesus would be drinking wine, you know, sitting there getting drunk, you know, like, you know, like the Bible, and people like,
Well, but
"Oh,
if you
even
know
Jesus
the
drink wine, so I drank wine, so I have to do it too, you know." Yeah.
well, but if you know the story of the Last Supper, for example, before he was crucified, right?
You know.
They were drinking wine, and he said, you know, I'm not actually, I'm speaking these words, but I'm not actually Christian, and I'm not super versed Bible person, but I'm just relating to the story. And the Last Supper is about remember me when you drink this wine. And so when you put this together, then you will begin seeing why imagined life is here and what it's doing. Because we infuse this water with divine qualities of spirit, and it becomes wine in that sense. And every time you drink this water, you remember who you are as spirit.
Interesting.
And that is exactly what he was saying.
I like that.
Except they do this in church once a week on Sunday when they come to church, and okay, here you drink wine and you drink blood of Jesus. I mean, whatever. But the truth of the matter is the message that's actually missing is that you're drinking the spirit. Our body is made of water. This water is infused with these qualities of divine spirit, and you drink that in. Now there is no need to chant any complicated mantras. I mean, trust me, I've chanted these mantras for hours. I mean, you sit and you chant, you have no clue what you're chanting or whatever. They tell you what it means. It's in some foreign language, but you can't really know what that is. Okay, you learn maybe, okay, just the vowels, the sound that connect and they vibrate, the energy, the air, but you don't really understand that. But do you understand something like the word "here I am" on enthusiasm? Do you get that? Do you get what enthusiasm means?
Yeah.
Okay. So isn't that making more sense to drink water that says I'm enthusiasm, and you infuse yourself with that? I'm enthusiasm now, and I'm gonna walk around in being enthusiasm.
Okay.
You see, it makes sense to me. It's simple and it's natural. You just drink water.
Yeah. Well, mantras, they work a little bit like on different level, like because if you read mantras in Sanskrit, which is perfect vibration, and we are energy, so we are vibration. So the mantra is not like you have to understand it, but it's because it's perfect vibration. And you know, for example, what it like for example, you chant mantra for Guru, Jupiter, right? And then you just, you don't have to understand mantra, you just working like, because when you meditate, you don't think about anything. You don't put anything inside yourself. It's a mantra meditation is just for opposite, like to get all your thoughts away from you and to see something within, because during like meditation, I'm not sure like if you felt something while you were meditating or after. For me, like when I do meditation, it's more like I'm somewhere else. I'm present like here, my physical body, but my mind, like it doesn't work. Like, I mean, it's kind of disconnected from my soul. And then through this meditation, then some realizations coming to me. So I don't even ask any questions, because if I ask questions, you know, while I meditate, then it means my brain is working, my mind is working. And no, I just turn it off. And then suddenly, just from nowhere, it's like, oh, it's this, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. That's how it works. So compared to water, what you were saying, like you put this word, which you understand, into water and you drink it, and then you kind of it's becoming your mantra basically for the day, right?
Yes, well, I can just go by, you know, by comparison, because I'm a yoga teacher. I've trained in Kundalini yoga, and I've practiced Kundalini yoga religiously for 10 years. I still do that every once in a while in the morning. I still enjoy the practice, but more from the physical perspective of I just love doing that better than going to the gym lifting weights, for example, for that purpose. And chanted all kinds of different mantras. I love the experience of it. But the way the growth happened through imagined life, and not just for me, but many people that have been practicing it, and many of my, I don't even want to call them my students, because they're not my students. They're not SoFeya students. They're imagined life students. So imagines are teaching them, not me. So when I'm talking about imagines are teaching them, because these qualities are actually arranged in a different order, and there are different qualities for different people, and everyone gets to choose what they want. And that is a practice, a magical practice in its own self, because we just sit down and I just ask you, so what do you want? And I show you all the qualities, and you just go like, oh, well, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, I want that. And it's just like you go shopping for a house, right? You're like, I want 3 bedrooms, and I want this windows looking over here and those windows looking over there. I mean, whatever, just like in that way, you choose those qualities, and you choose them in a certain order, and that becomes your blueprint. And then you practice in that order. And so as you practice in that order, your meditation is on qualities in that order, and the answers, just like you're saying, they start coming in specifically related to that particular quality, holding the intention that who we are as God and creator, the master. And our purpose here is to grow, expand, and most important, create. And so the part that I'm really like stuck about is how many already expand, and most important.
Okay.
I've heard somebody speaking.
That was you. It's just I was confused because I'm doing first time live on Facebook. Like through Instagram, it's different. And here it was like play button, you know. Like, are we on? What is this button for? And I was thinking like press it or not, and then like I guess it's like recorded there or something kind of.
Well, so what I wanted to say is how many people have written books and discovered different things in this short amount of time that we've been actually practicing imagined life. And I mean, imagined life was born 6 years ago. So it's really nothing compared to, you know, all these other traditions and stuff. But I'm not going to say, oh, well, you know, it's better or whatever. I think it's an evolution.
Everybody has different way, right? It's not better, it's not worse. It's just interesting that way, that what you like created with the water. Like, I'm not sure if you created or not, but I never heard about it before. And I believe like for some person, for example, that would be easier than, because I've heard a lots of people, they're like, I don't understand meditation. I can't do meditation. It does nothing to me. I cannot relax. I cannot like,
Right.
yeah. And water is like you said.
Yes, because it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Because everyone drinks water. So, and not only that, it's specific to this time. And this is very, very important. Why am I saying that? And why is it specific to this time? It's specific to this time because over the last several thousand years, the evolution of the human consciousness was very slow. And even if you take, for example, someone like Gandhi and compare Gandhi to Jesus, the life wasn't that much different. Between how Gandhi lived only, what, 50 years ago, right? 70 years ago, to how like Jesus lived 2000 years ago. Very little difference.
Do you mean difference in conscious or the physical life around us, or
The life, the physical life, and how we were as human beings, where we were in relation to our environment. Very little have changed between the time of Gandhi and the time of Jesus. But
well,
what changed? I mean, you look at our life today. 10 years ago is like dinosaurs. I mean, everything changed so fast.
You mean like, yeah, right now.
Okay, so we don't have the luxury to spend hours in meditation and come out and just be in this blissful state, because we have to move along with the time. So our consciousness has to grow and evolve much, much faster than it had ever needed to in the past. And it's critical. And we entered now in a new age, right? The age of Aquarius.
Okay.
So what's the difference between the age of Aquarius versus the age of Pisces? The difference between baptism and water, where it was washing over, right, in the rivers, that what was done with Christianity and stuff. But the age of Aquarius is different. Is the man or woman with the pitcher of water.
What do you mean like by age of Aquarius or Pisces?
Because we're now in Aquarian age.
Why do you call it the Aquarius age?
Why say it again?
Why do you call it Aquarius age, or it was a Pisces age? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, that I think as you should explain that, because you're into astrology.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand you, like what you mean by that.
Well, I'm just stating whatever the astrologers are describing as the age of Pisces. That was the past 2000 years, and now we're entering into the new age. And I'm just going like,
Okay.
It's a good question you're asking me, because in the Kundalini Yoga, when I was getting my certification and teacher's training, they were specifically saying to us, you are the teacher of the Aquarian age. Okay, whatever that means. I mean, I did not understand what that meant, actually. You're the teacher of Aquarian age. Then it kept coming up, the age of Aquarius, and then it comes in different signs, I guess.
Mhm.
The first one was, let me read that to you. The first one comes here from the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
And what comes here with the statement, let me find that. I write a lot of stuff in my books and then I can't find that. Okay. 1 second.
No worries. It's funny, it's Wednesday today, so it's ruled by Mercury. It's really good to have some conversations.
Yeah, okay, I found that actually.
That is
Okay, sorry.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, and then Aquarius is the water bearer, so who bears water. And the symbol of the sign, which is the 11th sign of the zodiac, a man carrying in his right hand a pitcher of water. And Jesus referred to the beginning of the Aquarian age in these words, and then the man who bears the pitcher will walk forth across an arc of heaven. And so that's what you asked me that. And the sign and the signet of the Son of Man will stand forth in the eastern sun, in the eastern sky. Well, this is just what I'm bringing this out. And I thought, wow, that's very interesting because I'm bringing in this new teaching, not new teaching, evolved teaching. How about that?
Yeah.
More consolidated teaching and personalized and very practical and very fast into this world within the pitcher of water. And this reading this was like, wow, that's interesting. That's kind of like connecting, right?
Right.
Like synchronicity.
Mhm.
And then it came, I received other synchronicities that it's not a man, but a woman. Okay. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then literally last year, I'm watching a movie on Netflix, Manifest. And they bring in like all kinds of different esoteric stuff. And most interestingly, they bring in the tarot card. And the tarot card, tarot, the tarot card. Okay, and the tarot card is card number 17, and it's called the Star. And the card that they show in the movie has peacock and the triangle that looks like a pyramid.
Mhm.
Now, imagined life has to do with peacock and the pyramid because peacock has to do with Krishna, and imagined life is actually is actually Bhagavad Gita in practice, so it has to do with Krishna. And the pyramid, it connects again because that is the consciousness as it evolves, it forms, it's in the form of a pyramid. And that is the teachings from the Egyptian thought from the emerald tablets that explains it's in the pyramid you find the keys to life.
Right.
And I have a pyramid here and the keys to life in it, perfect fit. So when I saw that card, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Let me look for it. So I look for the card on the internet, and there is no card 17 star with pyramid and peacock to be found. They created that for the movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
However,
Mhm.
there is card number 17 called a star, and it's a woman with 2 pitchers of water, one descending, one ascending, and it's very similar to the painting that I have actually commissioned to paint for the mother or Shakti, where she's holding the pitcher. And her name is Stella Maris. Stella means star. So she is a star with the pitcher of water. I mean, you cannot go around this kind of coincidences
Right.
keep coming back together over and over and over again. So there.
Interesting. Yeah, the life is, I've noticed, it's always like you see the signs here and there and there. And like, if you look back in your life, it's also, you're like, oh, that's why I needed that. Or like again, like puzzle pieces, they're like connecting why you've been at this place at that time, why you needed this, that, and that. And just like you keep telling, about the speech of water and the water you drink, and interesting.
Well, it's not just okay. Here I have little statue. It's hard to see a little statue of Mary Magdalene, and you see that she's holding a cup.
Right. With wine.
She is holding the cup. So there is so many connections that keep leading and pointing out this was supposed to happen. I know it had to happen. I just know that because I know that I've been doing this work for lifetimes. It just consolidated and came together, and it's here, and we'll see what's gonna happen.
And you said you wrote some books as well, right?
Say it again.
You wrote some books, you said, right?
I wrote a book, yes. I have a book. It's called Choreography of Awakening. And that was actually written before Imagined Life was born. And it's called Choreography of Awakening because I was choreographer and a coach. And I kind of like used figure skating as a metaphor for awakening at that time. And it was funny because after I wrote that book, which was divinely guided as well, people would ask me, are you going to write more books? What's the next book going to be about? And I'm like, yeah, probably, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a book on, how to practice. But I never imagined that this next book was going to be written in this bottle of water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
So you've
that I
mentioned,
could never imagine.
I know, right? Well, it's hard to imagine.
You know the magic of this whole thing. You said one thing. You said you've created, but I didn't create it. I did not create it. I received it, but not created it. Yes, I physically sat down and I put it out together. I mean, I use my resources to put it together, but the knowledge that I have received is not my knowledge. This knowledge is so perfect. It is not possible for a human being to know these things or to invent it or create it. It's just not possible. So I cannot take credit for creation of it. I can take credit for co-creating it, but I cannot take credit for creating it. So
well, that's the same thing. If I'm working right now on online Vasta Academy, like I'm creating it physically, right? But it's not like I invented this knowledge, or the teacher who gave me this knowledge also didn't invent this knowledge, right? Well, partially maybe, but it came like from other sources, So it wasn't like by human, the Vedic knowledges that weren't created by human, even though we're just like what's that called, like the tool, people using just to get this knowledge through us. I don't know. Just
well, the intention of Imagined Life is to accelerate the evolution of consciousness so that people can keep up with life today. Because there is really no time to sit in meditation anymore, or just, not only that, not everyone is going to do that. So that's the bottom line. I mean, people,
everybody has different ways,
right? Because I mean, many people, like, you love meditating. I love meditating. I've meditated, I don't know, I've meditated for many hours, but at the same time, you cannot deny this truth right now, that if you meditate for 5, 10, 20 minutes, an hour, 5 hours, 7 hours, doesn't matter. You're in the state, it's blissful, it's amazing, it works. You open your eyes, what do? You check your phone.
Well,
Or you
it's
check your computer.
that.
Okay, what happens in this moment? All of your meditation goes to drain because you're no longer in this state. You are now in like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this. Oh my gosh, this notification is coming and I have to do, and I'm all in this crazy mode all over again, no matter how much I've meditated. But here's the thing. The moment you go like, and you grab your water bottle and your eyes touch, I imagined, I didn't show you, this is I imagined. It's a coaster.
Yeah, here we go. Enthusiasm.
It's a coaster. My
So you're
water is
drinking
sitting on it.
enthusiasm right now, right?
So my water is sitting on it. The moment I go like, oh, and I grab my water bottle and I see my coaster, this next moment goes into this.
But like drinking
And I
water,
am back in my center
yeah. But drinking
instantly.
water is like the same as like, for example, you meditate. After you, okay, you took a sip of water, then you can also grab the phone, go to your computer, like after meditation, you can do anything, right? But I mean, meditation just works on a subtle level, right? So it's not like like you said, you meditated for hours, it didn't work, or it certainly does, if it's done correctly. It's not like you can check your phone after meditation. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't mean that you suddenly like meditation went to the drain.
No, well, with the magic of the additional benefit of this meditation, if you learn how to get yourself into the center quickly, it's awesome. That's great because that's the first step. You have to come into that center. But you're doing some work, or you're a parent, or you're in a relationship, whatever place you're at, in this place, with your quality, the meditation will take you into, okay, I'm at presence. Okay, good. But what the quality does, it goes in and it reminds you, remember your enthusiasm right now, or remember your cooperation right now, or remember your patience right now. And you go like, okay, I'm patient right now. So I'm going to be really, really patient right now. And I'm going to be in this different state with you. And because now I am in this state with you and I respond from this quality rather than my name,
It sounds like a formation which
I will do it in a different way. Yes. But I begin creating something different for my future because most people live in their name, right? So you live, whatever your name is, whatever. I'm not going to use my name, SoFeya, because this is my third name right now. I'm in the third name. So I changed my, this is my legal name, but it's changed. And, but normally people, whatever, Bob, okay, Bob, he was born Bob. He lived his life, Bob, 75 years. He's still Bob. What does he do? He does everything what he's been doing every single day as Bob. But on imagined life, for a week, you're doing things like abundance. For another week, you do it like you live your life as support. For another week, you live your life as gratitude. Another week, you live your life as love. Another week, you live your life as presence. Whatever it is on your blueprint, that's what you live. And keep trying. You see, so it's changing, and you keep stepping into that quality, that quality, that quality, and it begins chiseling you.
that's interesting.
Like you're being chiseled, like a sculptor is chiseling you to bring out the most perfect David or the most perfect diamond that you are.
That's awesome. I remember you mentioned also you're gonna have something on November 26th,
28th.
28th. Well,
28th.
tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that. So it's going to be actually the whole of next week. It's going to be it's a challenge or intensive. We call it intensive. It's called From Rock to Diamond, 5 days to more success intensive. And we're going to...
It's like a workshop, right?
It's like a workshop, but it's like a workshop. It's going to be from 11 to 1 for 2 hours each day. And I'm going to be teaching how to embody the quality of success more. And but that's kind of like, actually it's kind of like a side effect of that. But the key for this intensive is that I will teach the law of creation, how we create, how the universe manifests things. People will learn the mind wheel. That's probably you're very familiar with because the mind wheel is actually not my invention. It is a Vedic teaching with a twist. Because it was the beginning of the mind wheel was I learned that from my teacher in Kundalini Yoga. And I received an additional component to it from the source that's going to be included in that. So it's very, very, very interactive experience. There are over 5,000 PowerPoints that are going in there. So it's animated, so you can see how it all works. It's phenomenal. Yeah. So
okay, guys, did you hear that? Every day from November 28th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom, contact SoFeya for more information how to join this wonderful lady and her teaching. Well, it was very, very nice chatting with you. I hope everybody enjoyed. I'll try to save this video and post it. First time doing on Facebook. So I hope it will be all nice and saved. Also, I'll try to post on YouTube. Do you have by any chance YouTube channel?
a YouTube channel, I do, but I haven't been really creating very much there. I haven't really been out very much lately because as I have been receiving the information, I was just in the cave writing everything down. So it's going to start coming out more and more in the next year or so. But this is...
I just start adding also like few videos here and there on YouTube at Fasto Academy. So I'll try to post this video then over there as well. So people could hear all this information. Well, I'm very blessed and happy chatting with you for a whole hour.
Is it been an hour already? Holy cow! Oh my goodness, it went so fast. Olga, I'm so grateful for your invitation and for your insight and wisdom and the honor to be here with you. And you've been asking such amazing questions.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have shared what I have shared if you didn't ask these questions and poking me to get like, and what does that mean? Oh, this is a good question. Next time I'll be better prepared to answer that.
Well, there's lots of people, they're like, what, like I might know, but then they're like, what is she talking about? Yeah. There's lots of questions, and I'm glad, people searching, they're listening, they're developing, like they work on themselves, right? But because I've noticed like some people not as much, they're just sitting and waiting for something. I'm not sure from like something.
I wanted to actually say something because in the spirit of Thanksgiving, because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah.
And And this morning, as I was like getting ready to have a conversation with you, I realized that I actually have a page, and I have gratitude I mentioned that you guys could download for free, and it comes with meditation. It comes with a prayer that you say before you drink the water for gratitude. As a matter of fact, can we do that? Could we do that right now?
Sure.
Could we?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have something to drink?
I have my tea.
Sure, okay, well, you can do that with tea. So can we do that? This is for Thanksgiving, okay? So we're gonna go into the quality of gratitude, okay? And so you can, if you have whoever you're watching, pick up your glass and hold it over, and I'm gonna speak the words, and you just kind of like go into that, okay? Okay. And let's just close our eyelids and take a deep breath in and connect to your center, connect to your heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And we ask that gratitude we long to see, know, embody, and create. Inspire our eyes to recognize gratitude we long to see. Our hearts to feel gratitude we long to know. Ourselves to own gratitude we long to embody. And our bodies to express gratitude we long to create. And we ask that gratitude we long to see, know, embody, and create light our way and guide us from beliefs about gratitude to truth, from illusion of gratitude to illumination, from seekers of gratitude to masters, from potential gratitude to manifest in life, through our bodies, minds, hearts, and souls, today and beyond, keeping in mind our master plans and our commissions in the master plans, and only that which is for our highest good and the highest good of all concerned, and as desired, so it shall be. And just take a sip.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I just want to say namaste in the end, you know? Sounded like mantra.
I'll give you a link if people want to download Gratitude I Merchant and have this prayer that they can say over for the Thanksgiving, then you guys can enjoy that.
Yeah, we can post it underneath this video, right? And people could download. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, SoFeya. It was SoFeya and Olga with you today. And have a blessed day and happy Thanksgiving, SoFeya. Let me stop meeting. Bye.